Many men misunderstand a central point about physical connection. There is not just one way to touch a woman. Certain areas of the body can trigger deep emotional responses, often before any physical reaction occurs. Most men recognize only a few of them. I am a relationship psychologist, and for more than 15 years, I have worked with couples at every stage of life. What follows reflects consistent findings from psychology, neuroscience, and clinical experience. Many men believe they understand their partners well. Yet, when asked where and how a woman wants to be touched, uncertainty often becomes apparent. There is no formal instruction, and women do not always express these needs directly. They communicate through posture, eye contact, and subtle gestures that are frequently overlooked. These 7 zones are not simply physical locations. They function as emotional gateways. Understanding both the areas themselves and the manner of approach can significantly influence a partner's response. Touch, in this context, becomes a form of communication. After decades of clinical work, one pattern appears repeatedly. Many men rely on instinct, assuming that touching the right place automatically creates pleasure. For many women, however, pleasure does not begin mechanically. It begins with emotional safety. Actions that feel correct from one perspective may feel one-sided from another. When responsiveness changes over time, the cause is often simple. Stimulation alone is rarely enough. Intention, awareness, and presence matter. When a woman feels genuinely cared for, her body responds accordingly. Women do not always state what they need. They demonstrate it. One former patient expressed this clearly. "Don't touch me just to touch me. Let me feel that you're really there first." The distinction is psychological. Emotional openness precedes physical receptivity. The first zone is the hands. This area is often underestimated. Holding a woman's hand slowly and gently can communicate understanding and stability. A soft stroke along the fingers or steady, warm pressure in the palm can create a sense of connection. In clinical observation, couples who continue holding hands over decades tend to maintain stronger emotional bonds. Physical contact through the hands stimulates the release of oxytocin, the hormone associated with trust and bonding. Basic details also matter. Several women have noted that neglected hands can disrupt the experience. Clean, warm, well-groomed hands make a measurable difference. The second zone is the nape of the neck, at the hairline. Tension frequently accumulates there. A slow, gentle touch without expectation can prompt relaxation. This area is associated with soothing rather than stimulation. In one case, a man in his late 50s who felt emotionally distant from his wife placed his hand gently on her neck while she stood at a window. She paused, exhaled, and turned toward him. The gesture restored a sense of closeness that had diminished. The third zone is the lower back, between the waist and hips. This region conveys stability. Placing a hand there lightly, without gripping or restraint, communicates presence while preserving freedom. In ordinary moments, such as standing together in a kitchen or during a quiet morning, this contact can reinforce security without words. The fourth zone lies behind the ear and beneath the jawline. It is sensitive and requires established trust. Excess pressure can create withdrawal, while warmth and lightness foster openness. One woman described this touch not as a signal of desire, but as a sign of being valued, which for many women precedes physical arousal. The fifth zone is between the shoulder blades. This area is frequently overlooked. Psychologically, it represents protection. Because it is outside her field of vision, a gentle hand placed there can communicate reassurance. The nervous system slows and mental tension decreases. Its power lies in its nonsexual nature. The sixth zone is the inner thigh near the knees. This is not an intimate area, but a transitional one. It is close without being intrusive. When approached gradually and respectfully, it conveys proximity while honoring boundaries. Skipping transitional gestures can weaken emotional trust. The seventh zone is the lower abdomen around the navel. This area connects instinct and emotion. It requires sincerity and calm presence. A slow, warm touch communicates care. When a woman allows contact here, it reflects emotional openness as well as physical comfort. Women process touch both emotionally and neurologically. Research indicates that female skin receptors are generally more sensitive, and these areas can stimulate the release of oxytocin, reinforcing trust and bonding. They are not primarily erogenous zones. They function as signals of safety. Effective application requires patience. Observe reactions. Integrate these gestures into everyday interactions. Remain consistent and mentally present. One man remarked that he did not know what had changed, only that his partner felt closer. The change was experiential rather than verbal. These zones are not mechanisms to be activated. They are pathways to connection. When approached with sincerity and respect, touch communicates recognition and value. Performance and pressure are secondary. Emotional connection remains central. It is possible to begin again at any stage. A single deliberate gesture can alter the course of a relationship.